Hey, welcome to Pap Studio. This is Bhupal, and today we're going to talk about Hilt models. Typically, Hilt Android will be used for dependency injection. So, injecting the simple classes is very easy. You just have to specify that class with the alt, inject, and constructor. And this is the way I'm injecting that specific instance. When I say inject, late, where preferences, and pipe preferences, the Hilt will take care of creating the object and give it to me. Okay, this is very simple use cases. What if you have interfaces or abstract classes, or there are some framework comes from the external that will be having the builder design pattern to create an instance. So that is a bit problematic, right? Also, in those scenarios, Hilt doesn't know how to create an object for it. Okay, that's where this Hilt models come into the picture. So whenever you start exploring the Hilt model, you may come across these four annotations like alt binds and at provides, at qualifier, and also we have something called as a predefined qualifier. Okay, so we all knows, right, what we are trying to solve is we are trying to create an object for interfaces, abstract classes, and also there are classes that comes from the external that may have the builder design pattern in it, or it may have other way of creating the object. Okay, this is what we are trying to solve it here. We add at binds, at provides, mostly two annotation will be used to give the implementation for the interfaces, and binds will be used only if you own that specific class. For example, I have a pi article providers, it's an interface. I have something called as a class that implement that specific interface, like a pi gift register analytics is a class that implement the specific interface, and then I need to tell to the system like Hilt Android, like if somebody asking for pi article provider, this is you're supposed to give this specific class. I'm specifying that model, and then on the top marking it as an alt model, and I'm just installing this model in the singleton component. This is a scope of the component, I could say. At the moment I'm just specifying the singleton. In future you can mark it the number of scopes that will be available in the documentation. You can refer the documentation as well. So I'm just specifying it here. Then I'm creating the function that could be abstract function again, and the analytic provider where I'm specifying the class that specially implemented the specific interfaces, and then on the top I'm just saying binds. That's it. So when somebody is asking for the analytical provider, it automatically create an object for this specific iGift analytics and give that instance back to the caller. This is how you're supposed to use for a bind. So remember, if you're using bind, your model class has to be an abstract class, and that function should be an abstract function. Okay, this is as simple as that. So what if you don't own that class? For example, if iGift registry is something like you don't own it, and in that specific point in time, you just have to go for at provide functions. Even the alternative way of doing this one is by using the at provide functions. That would be very easy. Here you just have to specify object, and then you just have to specify the object name, and then you just have to install model, and you'll have to install which scope it is. I say the singleton component as well, and then we are creating the function. That function takes this pi gift registry analytics as a class that's supposed to be injected, and then the return type is equal to the interfaces. The return type is the interfaces, which is nothing but the pi article provider, and then I'm just returning this specific object back to the caller. Okay, so in this we're just giving the implementation here, but whereas in the last time we don't give the implementation, we just given the abstract functions. But here you just also specify at provider. If you want to specify the scope, you can specify it here, otherwise it's fine. The recommendation is, if you own the classes, you just have to use at binds. If you are not owning your classes, like if gift registries comes from other framework, then you just have to use the at provides. Okay, that's a thin line between this, but you can use the same at provider as well in everywhere you want. Okay, next one is a qualifier. So qualifier will come into the picture when you have the multiple binding for the same type. For example, I have one interface here, like I data source. This gonna gives me some function which is fetch app config, then it's gonna return the resources for app config. Okay, this specific interface has been implemented by two classes. One is a file local data repository, implementing this one. Here it's fetching the information app config JSON, it's reading the app config JSON from the asset folder, and then converting into the object and return to the caller. Whereas there is another thing like by remote data source, this one is actually reading the information from the server and then returning to the caller. If you look at this, it's a retrofactor interface. It's gonna read the actual information from the GitHub and return that response back to the caller. So if you look at it, there are two classes that implement in the iData source. Now if somebody asking for iData source, now the system may confused. Okay, we need to configure in such a system may confused which object is supposed to return, whether it's supposed to return the file local repository or whether it's supposed to return the pi remote data source. In that case, we supposed to use a qualifier. So qualifier come into the picture only we allow the multiple bindings. So I'm creating the two qualifier. One qualifier we just also specify at qualifier at retention type is a binary, then annotation class, say local data source, the same way qualifier retentions, and annotation class I say the remote data source. So I created two qualifier. Now I'm creating the two functions, provides functions that provides. One takes by local data repository and the return type says iData source that return the file local data repository. Okay, there's another functions again. It's supposed to be a provides remote data source, and that takes by remote data source class and return type is iData source. So because as this one is implementing the iData source, it won't be a problem. So it's returning this one. Okay, we have to provide function, and then here I'm annotating with the remote data source. Here I'm annotating with the local data source. Okay, if you want iData source, I'm just specifying iData source. That's the object I want. But here I'm specifying what kind of it is. Is it a local data source or whether I wanted to have the remote data source? Here I'm saying local data source. So it go here into the providers and say who is implementing the data source. Here the pi local data repository is the one implementing this local data source, right? So it's gonna return the instance of this one when I'm asking this specific one. I could say it's a local repo. Okay, so in case if I want another instance also that gonna be a remote one, that I definitely can inject here by saying that private val remote repo. Here I can say iData source, and then I can specify something like network model at network model dot remote data source. Now it's gonna give the instance of remote data source. Look at this. It's a simple interface, but it's gonna give the two different objects based on this annotation. That's where this annotation will come into the picture. It will be really helpful if you have a multiple implementation of a same interface. Okay, and the last one would be the predefined qualifier. So there are few predefined qualifier which is already available. One is application context, that gonna give you the context of the application, and another one is activity context, that gonna give you the context of this specific current activity. So you could say like the way you're supposed to inject those predefined qualifier is like saying that val context. Here I'm saying that application context, so it's gonna gives me the application like app level context for this specific instance. Whereas if you want activity context, you can access the activity context as well. That's how. Okay, hope this video would have helped you to understand the Hilt models. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching the video.